In our school we have a platform called Slack, which we use for teacher and school staff messaging, and we have a sub conversation in that platform in which we people who find certain interesting technologies that we could use in the classroom, they link articles to them or link directly to the app into Slack, and other teachers can see them and can incorporate new apps, and it's meant to be a rolling document so that if a certain teacher finds a new app that enhances one aspect of the teaching, they're encouraged to add it into the document, and then the teacher for next year will know of this app. I personally also follow some education related threads on Twitter, which is in our school our children have access to a good range of technology, so each child has their own personal iPad. So this is an iPad that they bring to school every morning and they bring home from school each evening. This is used mainly for certain computing lessons, for the Seesaw app, which I've just spoken about, and also for research. The children also have access to laptops, so we have a school, I think we've 20 laptops in the school, and for certain computing lessons, for research lessons, for robotics, we can also use the laptops to help the children. Also, technology-wise, the school has bought a number of technology packages to enhance the children's learning. So they have access to a website called IXL Maths, diagnostic test on it. So the maths is tailored to that child's level. It's a really important question. There are definitely negatives of teachers becoming over-reliant on technology in the classroom and relying on it for all of their lessons. I suppose given the fact that I teach in Vietnam, the internet can be an issue definitely. Sometimes the internet can be quite slow, and sometimes there can be no internet at all. So if a teacher has planned a lesson that revolves around the internet and there is no internet, it can mean that learning can be impacted. Children become impatient, become distracted, and that definitely impacts negatively as well. Another issue can be if children aren't educated properly on internet safety. Using a lot of the iPads for teaching can sometimes be time consuming, and children, some of them aren't as confident in using the technology in the classroom. So some of them require a lot of support to access the apps, to access the websites, to do some research, whereas other children can get their iPad on the internet and have researched 3 websites in the space of 3 minutes. Technology all that often for differentiating instruction. However, on the IXL website that the children use to practice their maths, at the start of the year, each child gave them each the laptop or the iPad, and they did a diagnostic test. And this diagnostic test found areas that they struggled in, areas that they performed well in, and then when they log in, each have a personal login. When they log in, it tailors their learning to the areas that they need the most help in. So I suppose that differentiates by itself almost. Also, something which I am learning about now, since we have introduced Seesaw, is that on Seesaw you can assign activities, and you can select whether to assign these activities to the whole class or to specific students. For daily instruction, the children use the Seesaw app. So firstly, they would upload pictures or photographs of work that they've done. Outside of that, 1 day a week they have their computing lesson. Also, they use their iPads in class for research. So maybe if we're doing a geography or history lesson, they might research in groups or independently. Outside of that, at home, they would use their iPads for learning on IXL Maths. Personally, I think that is an area that I need to work on. Using apps to grow children's creativity, I think, is really important. All that comes to mind at the moment is using the Seesaw app. So on the Seesaw app, the children can use the drawing tools to either annotate a picture or to draw a diagram or a graph to show their learning or their understanding. Outside of that, the only other creative app that I think I've used would be the stop motion animation app. For formative assessment, we would use the IXL website. So it's each child has their own login, and at the start of the year when they logged in, they each did a diagnostic test. This test then gave us data which we could use to see what areas children struggled in or what areas they performed well in. Also, when the children log in, and play the games or do the maths activities on it, it tailors the questions that they're being asked to their level, to their ability, or to their understanding in a particular topic. Outside of that, for summative assessment, for the actual summative assessments themselves, they're still done on paper. However, all the data is collected and recorded on a Google Sheet. With regard to using the technology to communicate with parents, Class Dojo did have the messaging facility, and CISO has the same. So we would use that for messaging parents simple reminders, or for parents to tell us maybe that their child is sick today, that their child had a bit of a fever last night, certain things that might, just small things that might impact their child's learning. We also email the parents, so every Friday we would send a Friday newsletter, which is an update on what the children have covered the previous week, what they will be covering the coming week, and also any notices or information that the parents may need to know.
So this is a lesson plan borrowed from a colleague, Matt. It is a grade 8 ELA unit review lesson where the students rotate around various stations to complete different activities. Stations 2 and 4 incorporate different uses of technology. I think it's a great way to design an authentic and engaging learning activity that aligns with content standards. The use of digital tools maximizes deep learning and hits on ISTE Standard 5 as well as 2A and B. The lesson plan was also created by 3 grade 8 ELA teachers collaboratively, which incorporates ISTE Standard 4A. The use of a TED Talk video allows the students to build on their previous knowledge by exploring real-world issues and problems. It lets the students develop ideas and theories on their own and hear from experts, achieving Standard 4C. Matt's homework also includes an exit ticket reflection, which is submitted via Google form. This is an efficient way to incorporate another tech tool whilst assessing the student's understanding, and achieves Standard 7B. From the lesson plan, I did not see much evidence of ISTE Standard 3. This could be improved by asking the students to leave a comment on the TED Talk or to respond to a previous comment. Another suggested improvement could be to flip the classroom and assign the Common Lit reading as a pre-class homework. This would allow him to use the technology allocated for Common Lit for a different tool.